Okay, so once you've signed into Nualang, you'll get to your home screen. As you can see, I selected Spanish when I signed up, so I'm getting recommended some Spanish courses that we think are really great. If you scroll down, you'll see some role plays, some bots, and some courses. If you'd like to look specifically at one type, you can always hit search and look at just role plays, just chatbots, or courses. So let's take a look at role plays. So as you can see, you can actually search by difficulty. So you can look at all, or you can narrow your search down and look at specific levels. So let's have a look at intermediate low. And you can see we have different creators on Nualang that are creating some really interesting content. So this is content that's all available and made public for you to use with your students too. If you want to check out content in other languages, you can always hit the drop down and take a look at, for example, French. And you'll find some nice examples there too. And if you don't find the content you would like, you can always hit create roleplay and start building your own. Let's also take a look at the chatbots. So just like the role plays, we get a screen here where we can actually filter by difficulty. So let's go to all. We get a bunch of content here that we can explore and have a look at and try out ourselves. And if we wanted to specifically look at one creator, maybe we tried out one of their role plays or chatbots and we thought it was really good, we can click into their profile here by clicking on their picture. So as you can see Sandra Sanchez, and you get an overview of all the content that Sandra has created. So you can check out their role plays, their bots, their courses, and if they have any public classrooms. So that's something that's important to mention. So this is content that Sandra has made public, so it's available to any teachers on Nualang. If Sandra has the choice when she creates content whether she wants to make it public, and it means it can be used as a starting point for other creators, or whether she would like to keep it private and it's just between herself and her students. So that's all in the hands of the teacher. It's up to you which way you'd like to do it. So, what other links are important? So, on the side here, you'll see we have our home screen, but we also have our library. So, as we create content on Nualang, or as we interact with it from a student perspective, we'll see that content appear in our library. So, for example, if I click on role plays, you can see that there's a couple of different role plays I've completed. You can also see that there's a couple of role plays I created. And the same for chatbots. There's a couple of role plays that I'm in the middle of playing, and a couple of chatbots that I've created. And you can see I've created no chatbots yet. And the same for courses. I've joined no courses, and I have created no courses. And then you also have classrooms, which I'll touch on a little bit later. Then your activity is where you can track your own progress through content. So a student will also have a similar view here, which will show them which exercise they completed, and they can click in and view their reports. So let's take a look at this chatbot. So you can see where I can go back and reflect on this chatbot attempt I did. And we, of course, have our settings. So if you wanted to, for example, change your profile picture, or you wanted to switch the language that you want to appear on your homepage, you can do that here. So you could switch your language. For now, I'll leave it at Spanish, but I could switch it to French. I could switch it to English, Italian, German, Portuguese. And of course, you also have your name, which appears alongside the content that you create. We also include some useful links here at the bottom for FAQs, and we also have some video guides for you to check out. And of course, we'd encourage everybody as they use Nualang, if they have any feedback, if they encounter any issues, please do get in contact. We'd love to hear from you and help. So, as you explore Nualang, what happens if I find a piece of content that I'd love to use with my students? So let's say I'd love to use one of these recommended courses, possibly US Spanish 1. So what I might do as a teacher is go in and start the course and have a look at it from the perspective of a student. So as you can see, I've actually joined this course in the past, so I've actually completed one of the exercises, so I have some progress. So maybe what you'd want to do is just check out the different sections. So a course has different sections and different topics within each section. So what you can do is you can go inside, you can try out the different exercises, so you can take a look at the phrase list, and if you think this would be useful for your students, what you can do, if you are happy with how it is made currently and you're not looking to make any changes to it, you just want to provide this as a resource to your students, what you can do is create a classroom and add this course to your classroom. So let's show you how to do that now. So on the left, you can hit classrooms. As you can see on our teach tab, we don't have any classrooms yet. So let's hit create classroom. Let's just call this Stephen's classroom. Let's learn Spanish. So our learn language would be Spanish, and the predominant language of the students in the classroom are going to be English in this case. You can add some tags if you'd like to make it easier for people to discover this classroom. That's usually if you want to create a public classroom. In this example, let's assume we want to keep this private, so it's just between you and your students. So as I said, let's keep this private, and private courses need an enrollment key. So let's just put in test key. And we can enable or disable a classroom chat. We can also enable or disable reviews. So if you have a public classroom and you want fellow teachers or students to be able to review your classroom, you can do that. But since we want to keep this private, let's just disable it. If you want any other teachers to be able to be a collaborator on this classroom, which means that they can add courses, they can check in on students, check in on student progress, you just add in their email here below. So let's pick a cover for our classroom. So let's pick this picture here. So once our classroom is created, you'll see that we have no courses so far. So let's change that. So down here you have an add courses button. And once you hit add courses, you'll first see a my courses tab. And inside here, you'll see courses that you've joined, and you'll also see any courses that you've created yourself. So it makes it really easy to add the content that you've been interacting with into your classroom. So if you wanted to add in US Spanish 1, all we have to do is click it and hit add courses. Perfect. So now how do we get our students on board? So what we'd want to do is share this link with our students. So you can click share. You can copy the link to your clipboard. If you're already set up in Google Classroom, you can share it to Google Classroom and create an assignment. Or if you want to share this publicly with fellow teachers, maybe you share on Twitter or Facebook. If you wanted to send it directly to students' emails, you can always manually put in their emails, or you can put in a spreadsheet which shows with just a list of each student's email. Okay, so what if we wanted to create our own course? Of course we can do that. So let's hit add courses and let's hit find course. So as you can see, we can check out some of the other courses that are available on Nualang and add them into our classroom as well. But if we wanted to just set up our own course, we can click create course. Let's hit learn Spanish with Stephen. Put in example description. Put in Spanish for English speakers. Let's hit next. Let's put in another enrollment key. Let's disable reviews and let's hit next. So let's find another picture. So let's pick this one here. And there we go. Our new course is into our classroom. And what we can do is we can click Manage Course and we can start creating our different sections and our different topics. But before I let you go, what I wanted to do is just show you one more example of ways that you can add courses to your classroom. So as you're exploring Nualang and you're searching through different courses and trying them out, let's say if we wanted to check out this A2 course, let's hit Start Course. And let's say we really think this would be useful for our students. You can hit More Options and you can hit Add the Classrooms. And as you can see, we have the classroom we set up earlier. So we just hit and we hit Add the Classrooms. And now A2 Intermediate Low has been added to our classroom. So now we can go back and check it out. So there we go. So now we have 3 different courses added into our classroom and our students have access to all 3.